Right, I'm delighted to be joined by Scott Askham, British MMA legend, and this weekend you're fighting Mamed Khalidov at KSW Colosseum 2 in a trilogy in front of 45,000 people. It's an epic encounter, and having looked at your social media, this is pretty big among fans because you're even being recognised in the shops. So what's it like to be a bit of a
Yeah,
superstar in Poland?
yeah, it's quite nice actually. So like just to come here and get that recognition, then go home and be normal. I do enjoy that. When I was world champion, I came here like three people asking for photos before I'd even got through passport control. So yeah, it is nice to get that appreciation from the fans. And honestly, it was genuinely shocked to see me in the shop. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see that.
It's good to see that you're capable of making people's day. And in British martial arts, we've had so many legends, the likes of Michael Bisping, the UFC champion, in your very own division, headlining in front of 20,000 people. But you're doing over double that. Is this a bit of a pinch yourself moment?
No, not really. No, no. I aimed for this when I joined KSW. Ideally, it would have come in better circumstances in timing, but this is what I aim for, and I truly believe that this was going to happen. And yeah, it's not a pinch myself moment at all. I'm looking forward to it.
In Kaladov, an opponent you know so well, this is a pretty amazing rivalry. How are you feeling going into this fight?
Yeah, this one is. I'm going into a bit different. This one. I went at him last time in the media. It was my second rematch with KSW, and I was a little bit frustrated with that. That like I was having to beat everyone twice, sort of thing. That's what I said. But yeah, I've got my rematch now, so fair's fair, and here we are in the trilogy.
This is one that the Polish fans all want to see. And obviously, you're delighted to be headlining in such an epic stadium. And it's amazing that you've got people coming up to you asking for photos. But on the night, he's going to have home advantage. What do you think that atmosphere is going to be like?
Yeah, I've fought on the same card as Khalidov when I've been fighting him and when I've not been fighting him. So yeah, I understand the reception he gets, and that don't phase me one bit. Like I fought him in front of 200 fans during COVID, and I fought him in front of like 15,000 the first fight. And to be honest with you, I preferred the 15,000 than the 200. Whether they're making noise for me or against me, they're making noise, and I feel that energy off the crowd. And yeah, I'm excited for this one to be a big one. I'll never ever forget my KSW debut. Khalidov was actually the main event, and I will fight Matilda in the co-main event. And so when they announced my name, I expected some boos. Like so, I don't like that some fans do that, but some fans boo, right? But I got a nice reception. It wasn't very big, but it was still a good reception. And then they announced Matilda's name, and the roof went off the place. And from that moment, I couldn't wait to fight. It hits me different. It doesn't hit me like in a nervous way. It hits me in like a buzz way. Like I can't wait for them moments. That these are the moments that you fight for.
We've got the Arleys and Frasers, the Brooks and Carnes, the Mayweather and Hattons, all these epic rivalries. For you, is he that dance partner?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. It's it's the only guy to finish me. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth on how the fight ended the second time. There's a lot of like variables in that fight as well. I couldn't. It was during COVID. I couldn't get to ATT. I was at a totally new gym. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy to put this one right.
That's fantastic. And obviously, looking at the game plan, you won the first outing, the second outing, it ended quite quickly. So, do you look at that as just one silly mistake, or is there a bigger picture? How do you game plan going into this one?
No, I don't know if it was a mistake, but I suppose yeah, it was a mistake. I just wasn't prepared. Like I know it ended fast and he caught me, but still I wasn't prepared. I don't go too much into it, but I was underprepared going into the fight, and I think you're gonna see on Saturday night it's gonna be a totally different fight.
Absolutely. And looking at your career, you've had an incredible one. A BAMA champion, a KSW champion. You've fought in the UFC at the O2 Arena, beating Chris Dempsey on the Bisping Silver Undercard, which is a pretty epic fight. And I'd love to get your thoughts on that. So, discussing that moment and this one in particular, is this something that's going to define your career?
Is it going to define my career? It's a big moment in my career, definitely. Like the position I'm in, coming off a 2.5 year layoff with a bad injury, to come back like this. The fight nights, they're really difficult to explain, and you can really only go off them on how you feel on the night. Like for example, when I beat Chris Dempsey on the Silver Bisping card, that should have been one of the highlights of my career. But how I felt after that doesn't even touch close to how I felt after I beat Matilda the second time. And I think a lot of that was to do with I always felt like I was fighting for my job in the UFC, and it was more of a relief that I'd won and got another chance than a buzzer winning. Like I didn't really celebrate or anything. It was a great knockout, and I didn't really like run and jump on the fence, or I just walked off, like happy that it was over. But yeah, I think I've gone off the question a little bit, but yeah, it's all how it feels on the night. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing night.
And rolling back the years, you've obviously got to this point in your life where you're fighting in front of 45,000 people, something that most people can only ever dream of doing. But originally being born in Hemsworth, can you talk to me about growing up there?
It is a little bit surreal, do you know what I mean? Like I say, I'm just a lad from a normal town, going on to big shows like this. It's amazing, but I always did truly believe that this would happen in my career. I thought, obviously, I thought I'd stay in the UFC longer. That didn't work out, but yeah, I feel like I've had a fairly successful career. Never as successful as I'd like it to be, but I'm not like disappointed with my career, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And there's still a long way to go. I'm like 35 years old now, and I'm ready to go. I swear, like just to be back training how I'm training, that alone is just a buzz in itself. And being around the fighters that I'm at ATT and all things like that, it's really motivating.
It's good to hear that you're in such great spirits. Winning this KSW title the first time was amazing. That was a fantastic achievement. What would it mean to do it again?
Oh, it'd be outstanding. Like I said, that was one of the biggest moments in my career, winning that title. I think it again, like going back to what I previously said a little bit. I think it was the way that I won it. Like I broke my hand in that third round, and I still managed to get the finish in the third round with the broken hand. So obviously that added a bit of excitement to it. So I think how happy the fight were over. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, to win the KSW title, that's 100% a goal of mine. I personally think this one should be for the belt. I feel like we're the best two middleweights. It shows that we're the best two middleweights. We're the position we have on the card. We're the main event, but then they've got the guys further down the card fighting for the belt. So yeah, I definitely aim by the end of the year to be fighting for that belt.
I'd like to thank you so much for giving up some time to speak to me. It's really appreciated. But before I let you go, is there anything that you would like to add that I perhaps haven't asked you about, or anybody you'd like to shout out?
No, obviously shout out to my team, American Top Team, and yeah, everybody at KSW for getting this fight done. And I'm excited being on June 3rd.